Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's daily brief recap. Let's just see whether YouTube's doing its thing. Hey, it is awesome. All right, so the insanity continues. Crazy, banging out doubles, triples, quadruples, quintuples, crazy stock market. Going off fun wins and things like Warrant Land. I don't know, there's a couple other odd trades that I've been doing here today. Nothing really in crypto. Crypto's been pretty quiet. Um, as we're sort of going through this consolidation here right now. I mean, there's nothing to do with the cryptos index looking like that. But look at these junior stocks. I mean, this is crazy what's going on here. So, these damn things keep getting bid up. Of course, I'm long, so that means higher prices, probably going to hit my double levels, and I'm going to be banging out doubles. So that's what I've been doing of late. As I showed you right here just a moment ago, breadth indicators are actually saying, this is not a very happy stock market. Been talking a little bit about that whole tax loss selling window. Here we are finally at the end of the year. And Mr. Wonderful went and threw another wrench in the works, threatening to cancel legislation to try and save everybody's ass here into the end of the year. So thank you, Mr. Wonderful. Of course, I had a wonderful rant in the daily brief today about that. Jupiter Saturn cross. Theoretically, we are at the anxiety apex of this 17 and a half year cycle. So thank heavens. Probably now we should be looking for a good 15, 20 years of positive ahead of us. But, it's always darkest before the dawn. My hunch is over the next year or two, it's going to be a slog. But in essence, we should be seeing better days ahead. We have Christmas coming up here, of course, on Friday. Tomorrow's shortened session, so not a hell of a lot going on in the market right now. And like I said, if you have your names popping, then you might as well take some profits. A couple mining names I've been going straight up lately. So broader market, it's big blah. Junior market, absolutely on fire. And specialty situations, they seem to be getting the money, tech related names, that kind of stuff. Brick and mortar, probably a big hurry up and do nothing. US dollar index, of course, world hegemony. We talked a little bit about the potential, of course, if we do lose these 3.5 year trading range, look left, things could get pretty ugly. I don't think it does. My impression is that we're coming into some sort of cycle pivot. But, strong opinions loosely held. If we go and lose those lows, then we're probably heading for a big leg lower in the US dollar. I don't think it's going to happen, but, we'll see what happens. For the time being, been thinking Jupiter Saturn cross transition test of the old lows, 88.6s. I really like the idea of this market carving out like a head and shoulders pattern kind of thing through this. And I might go and pick up another call here if we do get that kind of pattern. I've got one call on for January 2022. And I would add to that trade if we do actually get another follow through signal, but nothing to do right now. Stocks got a bit of a punch in the nose there the other day. They're struggling to come back here. Let's see. How do I do that? There we are. Central bankers have basically said, don't worry about it. We got your back. It's really a question of politics now, fiscal stimulus, all that kind of talk. Did find it interesting that stocks actually rallied on the potential that, maybe Congress says, hey, you know what? We'll give you more money than what we previously had budgeted for. I don't know. I did find it interesting that on Mr. Trump's gaffe there, stocks actually caught a bit of a bid. Interesting. And Mr. Bond King, on balance, I do like the idea if the stock market does break and risk does break, that, risk off should, see a huge bid come into it. But, Mr. Wonderful there, interestingly enough, probably like saying, hey, the workers demand more money, give them more money. the bond market kind of went, oh, Jesus Christ. And actually, that's a new M. So I think Mr. Bond King is still sort of sit on the sidelines. And I personally have been watching the commitments to traders reports pretty closely. I think it's probably important for us to keep an eye on what these guys are planning on doing. And I don't have the M confirmed, don't have the W confirmed yet. So I think we just still have to sit and wait. And I think a lot of the traders are just sitting and waiting. What the hell is going to be the resolution of this stimulus package? So big hurry up and do nothing there just yet. Gold, we talked a little bit about the diamond coming out of that Jupiter Saturn cross event, and really a loss of that low confirms the diamond, and lower we go. So it was constructive to see that we held that low. And also, we've been kind of bullish of silver lately. And the silver stocks, we took a shot on one of the silver stocks recently. Where the hell do I have that? Not over here. I was just on that page. Over here. They're hanging in. I mean, nothing really to get too excited about, but I would have thought that if the gold and silver were going to break, that these metals and commodities markets would come off. And you can see they're hanging in there. The gold, same sort of thing. I suppose that Jupiter Saturn cross was this diamondy action here. I don't really have an M or a breakdown. I still think there's a gap up here that needs filling in. And we did strap on some of this silver stock off of this double bottom. I kind of said yesterday, this looks a little dangerous, but I was actually pleased to see that it caught a bid here this morning. So nothing really to get excited about there in the metals, but the smatterings of bottoms, which is interesting because if this thing's moving higher, then it implies that there's inflation, there is some demand. And that theoretically should be US dollar bearish, which would, if those metals markets are actually speaking to us of new bull moves, then we probably should expect this US dollar to play around with this low here for a little while. But we'll see. There's no W here yet. The bullish divergence is in on this US dollar, and bearish divergences are in on the currencies. Now it's beholden on the market to actually W out to tell you that this thing is indeed bull. This thing might just go M out, those bullish divergences evaporate, and we continue lower. It's the way it is. As I said there earlier, I think it's critically important as a trader that you have strong opinions, right? You're going to take your bets. I mean, you're putting your money where your mouth is. You got to have the, what is it? The strength of your convictions in your trading, but at the same time, loosely held. If the market tells you you're wrong, well, you just simply have to identify that you were wrong and act appropriately. And then, of course, if you are wrong, abandon your old thesis. But into the end of the year, and now with Mr. Trump's nonsense down there, down south, I think everything has just been put on pause for a few more days, which kind of sucks because it's probably going to put a real nasty tone to Christmas. As I said there a minute ago, small cap stocks just on fire, banging out doubles right, left, and center. And I was super excited. I remember back in August, and it's a bit surprising. Some of the kids on the site were like, "Oh, I don't remember that." But in this summer, I just got absolutely apeshit bullish over this funny little feldspar mine. And the stock was like 5-10 cents a share. They were just giving it away. And lo and behold, I mean, here's a good example, strength of your convictions. Turns out I was right, and I got paid big time here. If I can find a damn stock. Where the hell are you? You're in my VCIM list, wherever that is. There it is. So sweet action there today. And this is what I'm trying to teach you guys. I mean, the venture market has just been shit for the past like 10 years. So it's awfully nice to see the venture capital market starting to wake up and participate again. But there's a great analogy of this junior market outperformance right now. So make hay while the sun's shining. Enjoy the ride. Bang out your doubles, triples, quadruples, whatever. This is exactly why I like to play the junior market. As for the corn, it was actually interesting. I was sort of thrown out of bed at like 3 o'clock this morning. I had no idea why I woke up, but I turned on the screen and the market showed me this. And I was like, holy bejesus, that looks horrific. And I put tweets out to the effect like, oh, Jesus, here comes some more smiles, right? You can see the market smiling at us. And of course, this looks like it's a diamond pattern, which means, diamonds, like I showed you in the gold and silver, you can't really make any big conclusions until that level is taken out or that level is taken out. So all of this stuff in here is actually just fluffy. And if anything, there's a really good example, analogy of fluffy, where they did put in a top. They brought the price right back down against the bottom end of the range, and then woohoo, straight back up top. And anybody who shorted that M, you got stopped out. Merry Christmas. And then it just goes back to nothing. No idea how this is going to resolve. I will say, though, simply put, this little M and happy face that I was quite worried about last night, phew, they took it off the table. Thank heavens. Probably the biggest reason why I didn't want to see this M come in is, remember, I got a whole bunch of these crazy ass little cryptocurrency stocks. The cryptocurrencies themselves, it's not really that big of a bull market for the individual names. But these cryptocurrency stocks, holy Shiite Muslim, this is ridiculous. So, and I think it's kind of like their time in the sun. We're growing up. So crypto is moving towards more sort of adult sort of trading spaces. I had no idea where the hell they were going to take this thing, but you can see at least that, calmer heads have prevailed here today. And I see this across the board on all these. I had no idea where they were going to stop this one, but I got my order working just in case. And I'm not saying this is done. I mean, hell, by the end of the day, they might crank it right back up. But what I would like is for me to get my fills, please. So I don't really want to see the market break down. Here's a really good example of Jesus, over $2 now. That damn stock. Here's actually a really good example. This is me typically just running my small business of trading. Small cap stock. Showed you the Russell 2000 performance. How does that look in the actual stock market performance? I mean, do you see Google up 17% on the day? No. Here's a great example. This is Village Farms. I mean, what the fuck is that? But it's rocking and rolling, and I got my next sell have on a double order working, and I might just be tweeting out, banging out doubles. So that's what kind of market it is. But what was it I wanted to show you? I wanted to show you something. Oh, well, slipped my mind. 66. All right. So here's a good example where a stock where I actually bought today. Imagine that. But I mean, you tell me, has this thing got, if it ever gets its act together, has this thing got any room to run up? I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. And the worst part about capitalism, right? And you can see it all over here, is they do these moves in like one day, bang, bang. So if you're not slick on the trigger, you miss your sell order. So you got to be very fast with this shit. But look what's coming in here. I couldn't believe it when I saw this morning. And, Brian, when I see W's, you know what I'm going to be thinking? Look at that. It's pretty. I mean, for lack of a better word, that's pretty. Now, I mean, you see how much money I threw in this, $300. And I just threw another, $180. I don't put a lot of money into these things. But, I mean, you tell me. I mean, this is just going back. This is 52-week range, right? There's December price action. So I'm not saying it's going to do it, but we won't even be aggressive. Let's just be nice and conservative. First stop target, 38.2. Where is that? Oh, gee whiz. I mean, God, how many times have you heard me say wicks and tails like to be eaten, candle body highs for trade location? That's $2 a share. right? We're at 66 cents right now. My average right now is going to be down here in sort of the 70, 80 cent area. Could I get a pop up into here over the next 6, 8 months, 12 months? Get myself a double, get some free stock? I think so. So I put my money where my mouth is and I pulled the trigger today. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Wish me luck. So there are actually things I'm out there buying. Imagine that, eh? Crazy. Yeah. You can see these crazy warrant markets are all over the place. I mean, you see these, right? 20 cents, 11 cents, 15 cents, 25 cents, $40. What the fuck's this? I bought this thing at 30 cents down here. So, again, this is why I play the junior market and these funny derivatives markets, because the amount of money you can make is just ridiculous. So, I'm not calling a top here. And the funny thing is this morning I got my next sell half on a double order working, and there it is. If they want my warrants, come and get them. Isn't that incredible? Oh, well, crazy world. So I established a free position on this guy this morning. Got my fill there. I don't know where the fuck this thing's going to go. You tell me, has this thing got any room to move up? I mean, this is slightly different, but look at there's a big gap all the way up at $1.53 there. And if you look at the price chart of the stock looks great. So have fun. Oh, look at this tough build. There it goes. Da, 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 da. Oh, this Jamie guy, man, he has just been spoon feeding us absolute treats. I mean, this is the best karmic reward for teaching all these guys this stuff is they come back and they say, Brian, thank you for teaching me this stuff. Here's some ideas that meet all the criteria that you taught me. What do you think? And it's like, sold. it's the easiest sales pitch in the world. So anyway, who knows what's going to happen here, but get ready, folks. If you happen to be in this thing, looks like it's in play. I don't know. I'm not quite sure why I went off on that tangent here for you, but don't chase that. For God's sakes, don't chase. You want to join me? Work your bids at the gaps. You know how this game's played. So, with regard specifically to crypto, I suppose it's the same thing what I just said there a minute ago to you guys. There's no bloody way I can come in and justify paying something up there when I know that the price was here less than a year ago. Why on earth would I pay that price? Oh, I know, because it's going to be 10x that price next week. No, that's not a good way to set yourself up for success, guys. It really isn't. Ironically enough, what you have to do in this business, you got to buy when others are selling and sell when others are buying. And right now, what I hear is the public, of course, is rah, rah, bye, bye, Bitcoin's going to the moon, right? I mean, what a mess. How the fuck do you get any information out of that? But what I think I wanted to show you guys was, as we're in this sort of big celestial event, there's the Jupiter Saturn cross. I think this is very nosebleedy up here, and I really don't like the fact that we just keep getting happy face. Happy face, happy face. We got one there last night, happy face, but boom, they broke it. Phew. And the general message to the site was, and you should be able to see this now. I mean, if you're a bull, just go take that high out, please, and we can just keep continuing to work our way higher. But now, if this son of a bitch goes and M's out here and we go through these lows, I think that the rally's over. So it hasn't happened. We're nowhere near there. We got a little bit of a false warning last night. Probably this thing resolves, and gee whiz, there's Christmas. Remember, OK Coin Forward's delivery is on Christmas Day. They have a history of loving to fuck the Christmas kids over Christmas morning. Anybody who's a crypto kid in the West. So, just be aware. This diamond pattern is coming to a fruition. And of course moves above or below the diamond top or bottom. That's your signal that, okay, we now have direction. Ethereum actually was interesting in our TRI SOF meeting last night. One of our OGs was like, I'm short, I'm short, I'm short, I'm short, I'm short. This is the most incredible short setup ever. I'm short, I'm short, I'm short. I was like, okay, it sounds like a short. I mean, you know me. If I'm gonna play shorts, I like to do it through the options market. Maximum risk is the purchase price of the instrument, which I think sits well with me. Don't like to take a lot of risk. Do I like the idea of buying puts on Ethereum and Bitcoin here as some insurance? Love it. And our crypto options boys are very hard at work accumulating puts in Bitcoin. And I think we have some free options from this trade here. If I get another dump like this, then any purchases up here will produce more sort of free options positions. And I think I've told you guys this repeatedly. At any given point in time, you should expect a 38.2 retracement. It's just what markets do. I'm not saying it's happened. Steven, he's short, so way to go, Steven. That's not my plan. I like the puts. If you can put yourself on a nice dollar cost averaging plan to buy 6, 8, 12-month options, warrants, love it. And I would be expecting at some point down the road that we trade back to this 450 level. It's not a trade that I'm pounding the table on, but I definitely think it's some point down our future. We'll see. Take it for whatever it's worth. If you got any value out of that, awesome. If you got no value out of that, my apologies. So there's your crypto review. And unfortunately, when we look at the alts, they look even worse. I really don't like the look of this chart. This chart looks very bothersome. So, and I've said this to you repeatedly. Red boxes, selling windows. Now we're getting M's coming in through this. M's off of the original M's. Reload zones are down here. This was a V bottom from the spring, so probably at some point should be tested. Now we can even go, well, what would an AB? So we can get the color right. That was weird. What did I do wrong there? Let's try that again. Right? Oh, fudge. I can't do it off of this. Darn. Anyway, A, B, C, D. I'll just sort of visualize it. Boom, 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 boom. So it's projecting somewhere right down in here. And of course, right, so you take your hand, go boom, 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 boom. So that's down in here. And you notice reload zone just so happens to be right in that area. That's an M. You see the trend line off the original top. My hunch is we're probably just going to ride our way down like so. So we'll see how it goes. Only time will tell, but there ain't nothing for a guy like me to do there. So big hurry up and cool your jets. Of course, also too, legislation being proposed down in the States could really punish a lot of these anonymous coin kind of names. We were interested in that Dash recently, and it's basically fallen right apart here, and it doesn't surprise me. I don't have a problem because I nanny nibble this shit. I don't ever bet the farm. In fact, I would even want to buy some more back. But at the same time, too, if you're kind of like, this is an anonymous coin, Brian, U.S. government's about to shit on anonymous coins, I'm just going to leave this alone. Totally fine by me. If you did buy this and you're kind of like, well, I bought the W and I'm feeling a bit chicken shit, then just fucking get the hell out of there and just walk away and don't even look back. You know me, I want to own everything, so I'll just go and nibble. When I see W's like this, I'm more than happy to throw like 0.01, 0.02, 0.03 at BTC at them and just see what the hell happens. Probably also too good analogy. Remember, I was a little choked that you guys were bidding this thing up here recently because I still got some bids down below that I want to get filled. So it looks like now I'm probably going to finally get my fills. So, not in a hurry here on any of this stuff whatsoever. And frankly speaking, like I said, big uncertainties about U.S. legislation coming down the pike. You want to cool your jets on altcoins until we have some serious W's coming in here. I would not have a problem with that at all. So. Okay, think I'll leave the rant at that for today. Market was very generous to me, so I'm feeling in a very good mood. Slow and steady wins the race. Not overly emotionally attached to anything that's going on in crypto. I'll let people have more stock, more coins if they want to bid prices up into my levels. And now I've got a whole shitload of powder dry. So I'm just going to sit back quietly and just wait for the fireworks, probably middle of February or so. And then maybe start accumulating again in March, April, May, getting ready for next summer's altcoin season. So, okay, everybody, have yourselves a great rest of your day. PMA for the win. Kevin, if you could take us out of here. The only thing left for Brian to say at this point is a big bye for now.